All right, so today we are going to edit one of my favorite photos recently taken at Ocean City Welcome Center. It's beautifully eager taking off. Let's get started. Really solid photo. If I crop in, a lot of detail has been saved. Looks really good. This photo was processed through DxO Raw, so everything looks really good. No noise. So we're gonna do a nice crop. Should I angle it just right? That looks really good. So once again, as you've been following me for a while, I like to use probably the only preset that I've ever made. It's this photo of this rabbit I keep explaining, but I like it because it really just, I don't know why, it strips away a lot of the color and it kind of keeps this warmth brown color there. But for some reason, whenever I use it, it just gives me a great starting point for my edits. So I'll hit copy. It doesn't work all the time, but sometimes I can make really cool things happen with it. So we copy that, and we're going to go here, we're going to paste, and this is what we have. So it really, like you said, it just darkens the photo. It makes everything really, really, really dark and moody, and I can achieve that naturally on my own. It'll just take a really long time. So I'd rather just use that preset of just having everything just super dark and for me, really dramatic. But this right here isn't really great. You can't really see anything, but it's a great starting point for what I'm going for. First thing, we'll go to the exposure. Let's slightly brighten this up. And this video hopefully shouldn't take too long. It is a bit harder editing these types of ones that are more artistic because I'm trying to recapture that moment that I did before. So that may take a long time to get back to that point, but we'll deal with that when we get there. So some of the same rules apply here. So we're gonna work with the highlights. Just drop these highlights just a little bit because the bird's super overexposed. You can't even see it here, way too bright, losing a lot of detail. So we'll drop that exposure. Shadows are fine. A lot of what we're gonna be working with is very similar to what we did before, is gonna be the background. So nothing really changes. So I wanna just play around with some of these sliders and see what happens. So if we add some warmth as well, it looks really nice, but we're not going to do that right now. I kind of want to just leave all of this alone. I don't want to touch any of this. I want to go down to my color mixer and just start taking pieces apart color by color. So same thing applies here. If I go to my red, that majority of the red is just going to be on that face again, so we'll just leave that alone. The orange most likely will be the feet in the background, so let's see. Yep. So we will probably just leave that alone as well. And the yellow will probably be the background again. Yep. And it's kind of hard to even see that because of how everything is stripped away. But I kind of like doing that because it just really helps me pinpoint what I'm going to be looking for in my photo. But I want more of a greenish tone to this. So I don't want to overdo it. I want to just leave it on just a little bit. Because we'll do most of it when we'll select our background. But we'll do that later. There are no greens in this picture. I don't have to worry about that. And this is not... none of these colors appear in this picture at all. So we're going to jump straight to our masking tool. We're going to select the background. And I'm going to slightly just lower the background just a little bit. Nice. We're going to work with our temperature. I'm going to see how these colors look. So nice. Looks pretty solid. Tint. Because I want more of a green look. So maybe slightly towards the green. Start coming together a little bit. And the hue, let's bring this up towards the green as well. Nice. So it's already looking much better. Textures again. Drop the textures. Smooth out that background. And we can see, let's see. What I want to do is we'll select the bird. And I might play around with the colors a little bit for this bird. I want to see how I like it. I don't want to be too overexposed, but contrast. I think it looks fine the way it is. I want to drop the texture. Drop the textures a little bit to kind of smooth it out. Beautiful. Nice, nice, nice. And I kind of want to go back to here and just work with the vibrance and see. Sorry if I'm jumping around a little bit. I kind of just want to It's a lot harder because there's so many moving parts of this picture now. I think that looks pretty good. What I want to do, I want to get back to this background again. So we'll get back to our masking tool, go back to the background. And I really want to make it, let's see, can I make it, there it is, that right. I don't need it to be too dark. I want the background to be a bit more noticeable. Background pops out. And let's play around with these sliders and really just see what we can do. Right there, it looks pretty good. So I kind of moved the tent right back to the center. It was a bit too green for my liking, so I moved it kind of back to the center where it's green, but it has a bit more warmth to it. I like that a lot. And if I go to my hue, you can see I kind of like it right somewhere right there. So in that balance between a green and a nice warmth, we don't want to overdo it. Cool. This is already looking really good already. Same thing. Linear gradient. We're going to pull down. And we're going to add some exposure to give off that appearance of light from above. Drag it down. Beautiful. And then we'll do the same thing. Linear gradient. Drag up. This time we're going to darken it so your eyes are more so drawn towards the center. We can kind of maybe go up again to this linear gradient. The two. Perfect. Nice. Close this out. Let's go to our vignette tool. And I want to just slightly lower it, not too much. And then lastly, to finish it off, I'll play around with some textures and see, like my texture slider, and see how far I want to drag it down. I think it looks really good right there. And if I want, let's see how when I add my temperature, give it some warmth a little bit. That actually looks really nice. The light's kind of hitting it through, hitting right through it. Gives off that appearance of red coming down. And then to finish it off, I might go to here because the face is a bit overexposed. We go to our masking tool, use our brush, and we are going to select the face. It's computer's kind of slow, so bear with me. There you go. We'll select the face. And all we're going to do here is just slightly lower the highlight. And you notice we drop the highlight, the face pops right back out. We're not going to do the eye. The eye's not that important for this picture because you can't really see it anyway. A bit too warm. Hold on. Right there. And that's it. So if I go here, we have before, after. Wow. So really similar to our first edit. I think this one has a bit more, I can't really explain. It has like a bit more of an artsy, like a painting style look to it, but it still looks pretty natural. Some takeaways again, very similar to what we did before. We focused heavily on the background, so we had to isolate our subject. We wanted to keep the bird as white and normal as possible. The main thing we did with the bird was drop the texture, kind of smooth out a little bit, drop the highlight to give more of that detail because it was overexposed. The main thing with the background, we use our masking tool to select the background. We moved a lot of our colors and tones towards more of the greener look. It was a mix between green and some warmth, not too much warmth in this one. Drop the textures for the background to smooth the background out. Use our linear gradient above to have light coming down from top, and we have linear gradient at the bottom for darkening it. And then adding some vignette to kind of really hone in the sides, of making the sides a bit more darker and drawing your eyes towards the center and what's happening above. And yeah, that's how you edit this image. Hope you enjoyed, and until next time.